Hey, witches.
Hi, hello. Welcome back to another episode. And I think, what year? The fourth year of Corner Witches almost?
Yeah. Yep, because the first year we got
Nah, we
the
were
little
established
picture things.
2022.
Yeah. The first year we got these.
These cute little s- things that in the night sky or whatever. Is that like just a generic picture or is that like
I
what the
think it's
night
supposed to
sky?
be the night sky that day.
That's what I was
2
wondering.
2/5/2022. And then we
Yeah.
got bookmarks that say, "Hey, witches, happy second anniversary,"
Mine says hi, hello.
which is so fun and she's so extra and I love her for it. And then
Oh,
last
these are from
year,
Brittany, by the way. Like the
oh yeah, these are all from Brittany. Last year, nope, that's not it. Where is that journal? There it is. We got these journals with our like kind of little logo thing. They say congratulations on 3 years of A Court of Witches podcast. And then they have our names on them. And then this year
we
we
got
got
cute little
cute
mugs.
little mugs that say Court of Witches established 2022. And the other side says don't fuck with my energy. Cause don't.
I love it.
She spoils us.
I know. I looked on the bottom of it thinking like like what we say was gonna be on the bottom of it, and I was like, dang, missed opportunity, but I love it. I was staring at it and I was like, I want to use it, but I probably shouldn't. Oh, but I want to use it.
I don't well, first of all, I don't drink coffee, but I also, like I don't really drink anything that you drink out of a mug. Like, I know you can drink anything out of a mug, but, like,
I drink
sometimes I
orange juice out of
feel
a mug pretty much all the time. We don't
I was gonna
have like
say
the
I'm gonna feel
typical
really
cup,
lame
so
drinking my chalky milk out of my Quarter
hell
Witches
no.
mug.
I tell you what, I um because coffee dehydrates me and because I'm not really supposed to have caffeine much anymore because of my ADHD meds, I have essentially not really I don't really drink coffee much anymore. Um Maybe like once or twice a week. And then I still try not to like make it a big drink. Um
Yeah.
but I love me some coffee mugs. So today, we're also recording this on my birthday. So
Yeah.
my
So happy
birthday
birthday,
was
Emily.
um this will air on the 4th, but my birthday's today, the 3rd. Um so we one of my employees bought me breakfast this morning and they were like, "Do you want anything to drink?" I was like, "Look, I would kill for an orange juice." Um well, where she went to get us breakfast ran out of orange juice, which side note, it is McDonald's. So like that's probably why. I really just wanted their like the egg McMuffin sandwich. Like
Yeah.
is healthy and it also honestly just like fucking hits home. But so I got that and they ran out orange juice. So like what the fuck? But okay. Honestly, I get it. So she went in to go get me something to drink and we have regular cups, but I looked at the coffee cups I have, excuse me, and I was like, that right there. Someone's like, "You're drinking that out of a coffee cup?" And I was like, "I literally got a coffee cup for my assistant who's drinking or like apple juice out of it." So like, yeah.
Why
And it's
not?
funny because she's
It's a
drinking
cup.
apple juice. She's drinking apple juice out of a cup that says, um, "This is my cup until like 5 p.m." or something. It's basically got coffee chasing wine
Uh,
on it. It's like one of those like funny gifts that you would always kind of somewhat receive. But anyways, so I got that. Um, we used that today, and I'm telling you what, I really just want to fucking use my coffee cup because I have a BTS cup, and I was like, I'm not going to use this because what if I fuck it up and then like it just scratches and then it's just bad. Like, I'm one of those people that like I don't care if it has a purpose. I'm not gonna use it for its purpose. I'm gonna use it as decoration because it means something. And then I ended up
Yeah.
using it. So here we are.
Yeah, I have lots of mugs sitting around like this one, which this is a not really like a regular mug, but this one has glue sticks in it.
Uh, yeah, that's definitely not a regular one. Um,
Um, and then I did have one with pens, but then I got a new shelf thing here, and it has a pen thing
yeah.
on it.
I have a Little Mermaid, Broadway mug that doesn't do anything but sit on my shelf.
Yeah,
I
fair.
have a St. Petersburg, Russia, mug in, Cyrillic. I have an Estonian cup. It's technically like a beer stein, but it
Hi,
sits on my shelf with my
hello.
other 2
Okay.
mugs. So, I
Oh,
also have, like, a Sailor Moon one somewhere. I I think that's still in the box, though, because I was afraid to get it out, but it's
I'm
somewhere.
being assaulted.
Yeah. You know what? My cat scared the fuck out of me this morning. I was, like, laying there, and my alarm went off, and I was like, "Ugh, okay, I'm gonna sneeze it." So I was like, "Alexa, snooze, please," or, like, snooze or something, and I'm, like, laying there, and I'm not falling asleep, I'm, like, laying there until my alarm goes off again in, like, about 10 minutes, and, like, sometimes when you just, like, open your eyes and you're, like, gonna go grab your phone and, like, you're gonna use it as your alarm's now, like, your time to get up
Yeah.
type of thing. I opened my eyes and there's a fucking cat in my face, and she was not there when because I was facing towards the edge of the bed, and I'm, like, close my eyes, all of a sudden I open it up, and boom, she's right there in my face, and I was like, "Oh my god." Oh, shit.
Oh, Lily.
She was like,
Sir,
"Oh."
we're trying to do something.
She's like, "Oh, you're awake, mom? Okay."
We're I'm just trying to do something.
He's like, "Mom, I'm trying to do something too. I'm trying to be loved on, okay? Listen, if a cat chooses you, just know that cat
It's on their
probably
time.
just know that cat will never love you until it loves you."
Yeah, until it's ready to love you.
I know, because I told Will, I was like, "Man, like, I just wanna squeeze Lily sometimes because she's like, I just love her." And he was like, "I do too, but, I know that sometimes she gets really anxious and upset that people pick her up, so I try not to pick her up, so she doesn't throw,
Chaos
like, a hissy."
likes to be picked up, strangely enough. He's a weird cat. I think it's because he was sick when he was a baby, and so we
Yeah, so
held
it's
him
like a
all the
cuddle.
time.
It's
Yeah,
like a, coddle kinda thing.
yeah. Like, when he was a
Um,
baby, he was, like, 2 pounds, if that,
yeah,
and he would lay on my chest for warmth because he
yeah.
had super high fevers and shit.
Lily, as a kitten, never wanted to be held. I mean, her entire, like, line of cats did not wanna be held. I have pictures of her snuggling up close to me or leaning on me, but never did I really like, the photos I have of her, like, laying or, like, being held are just, like, her looking for ways to get down. So, she's
That
never
was
been.
pretty much how Kemper was, but Chaos has always been a cuddle bug.
Yeah, she's definitely just does not wanna be picked up. She's fine getting picked up, it's more along the lines of, like, is she gonna be in her bed getting picked up?
Yeah,
She'd rather be picked up in her bed than anything else, so here we are, but okay.
she knows what she likes.
And you
But
know what? I commend her for it.
but anyways, chapter
The
44.
I about said the hills have eyes. Um, no, the eyes are the best part. Part
Yes.
4. Okay.
We left off chapter 43, where Oma is working on the centerpieces for the wedding, and um, George is in Thailand on a month business
Oh,
trip.
is it 3 months or 3 weeks?
Oh, I think it's 3 weeks, but there's 3 months to the wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's out of town, and Uma is kind of having a relapse because she's like, "He's not coming back. Oh my god,"
Yeah.
with her abandonment issues.
Which,
Um,
fair.
yeah, for sure fair. Absolutely. Um, and now in chapter 44, if you remember, Alexis was talking about having a study group. Um, oh wait, we already did that, didn't we?
Yeah, they're
She's
drinking
just hanging
champagne.
out with Alexis and
Mhm.
drinking champagne to celebrate because she passed her she got off of academic probation.
Mhm. Yeah. So they're celebrating and getting real, drunk, honestly,
Yes.
off champagne and then just eating, like, all kinds of snacks, and Alexis goes, "Oh, let's get something stronger," and then they break out a bottle of vodka or tequila, I think it's tequila, and they start drinking away.
Mhm.
So they're getting drunk. Now, mind you, during this time when they go underneath Alexis's bed to get this alcohol, she pulls out like a shoebox in a way that has like all this alcohol in it. She basically makes a comment of the little white pills that were in there.
Yeah.
Um, about so it's the pills that Alexis, like sleeping pills that Alexis gave to um Jiwon in previous chapters. So she makes a nice little, oh, and a familiar bottle of white pills.
Yeah.
So yeah. So she makes a comment of that before they go and continue drinking.
Yeah, and they, all of a sudden, Alexis's necklace is missing, and immediately I was like, "Did you want to take it?"
I thought so too. I also was kind of like, so like there's like a part of here too that they're like they have a tendency to like play around. And it's like,
Yeah.
at this point, it's kinda like, okay, you can fuck around with your friend, but it's like what happens after that really kinda solidifies, like, where you stand with that friend. Um,
Mhm.
it's kinda like the trope that you see on TV shows or movies where, like, they're best friends, and then all of a sudden they, like, play fighting, and then they get real close, and then they're, like, in love, that kinda thing.
Yeah.
So they're, like, messing around talking about, like, "Oh, if you wanna go home so badly, just go home, like, you probably could walk for" I don't know, just, like, random to shit. And then let's see, Alexis pushes her, and, Jiwon's hyper aware of the shrinking distance between the 2 of them, like, she can smell her perfume on her, as she gets lightheaded, obviously, from the alcohol and from being so close to Alexis, and then that's when Alexis goes to her neck. So, did she actually lose her necklace, or is that just, like, a ploy to stop the tension of what's happening?
I don't know.
It's hard to read, not that we have to know Alexis really well to, like, read it, but, like, it's hard to read where she stands, like, in 1 minute, you're like, "Oh, she really likes her," and then the next you don't,
Yeah.
but they
And
start
then
searching for the necklace.
yeah, and then, so when they're doing that little pushing each other and all of that, they're actually outside because they went to go get something to eat or to look for something to eat, and
Oh, they are? I
she
thought they were in her apartment.
no, at that point, they've already walked outside to go get something to eat,
Oh.
and she's like, "I won the fight, so I should get a prize," Alexa says, and Jiwon's like, "Anything you want," and she's like, "Tell me your deepest, darkest secret." Well, obviously, Jiwon cannot do that, um,
Mhm.
And so she's playing around. She's like, "My secret is I hate when people ask me to tell them secrets." And Alexis play pushes her again, and she falls down. Um,
Yeah, like
and
Jiwon
then
falls down and she falls with her.
yeah, and then she grabs Alexis' hand and like pulls her down too. Um, and then all of a sudden, there's a figure in black at the end of the road watching them, and it's
Which
fucking
is
Jeffrey.
so I think Jeffrey's following her.
He absolutely is,
I
no
think he's the
question.
one that's following her around with everything, including where she thinks George is the one following her.
Yeah, I definitely think it's
Um,
Jeffrey.
and I was like, what a fucking creep.
That's literally what I wrote. I wrote page 184, fucking creep.
It's just so weird to you just like
Yeah,
pop out of nowhere.
because he's stalking her.
Yeah. And I don't
It's
care
creepy.
if you are like an ally. Oh, you know what? I'm going to save that soapbox for a little later. Right. Next
So the
section.
only other thing I wrote for this chapter was page 186. Um, Alexis is still on her phone, and Jiwon's getting ready to go home, and she's like, "I'm gonna use the bathroom before I go." And she sneaks into Alexis's room and takes a handful of the sleeping pills and puts them in her pocket. And I was like, "For George?
I was actually thinking for Jeffrey.
For both?"
Yeah. Um, well, and what's really weird too is like right before they like go back and she takes all of that, like he holds on to her,
Yeah,
like not aggressively hard, but definitely firm. Um,
yeah.
and
Like
he
grabs her
removes
arm.
his like hand finger by finger, like he slowly removes his hand, and it's like he is definitely the stalker. Ain't no way he's
He's
not.
obsessed. Yeah,
Like it's
it's a little
weird.
disturbing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, and then they go back and they are starting to separate ways, and she's like, "I'm gonna use the bathroom." Psych! I'm taking all your sleeping pills. But
Yeah.
also, what is she gonna use that for? Other like, what if she like drugs her? Like, what if? Oh, you know what she could do? She technically could give it to her mom and her sister, and then like play that like George is trying to assault them.
Oh, that would be a smart way to go about it.
Self-defense. That would be a smart way. But here in a little bit, we're gonna find out that, like, her choices and how to kill people are not that bright.
Oh my god! In this next chapter, chapter 45, we're gonna learn a little bit about her choices and how she's not even trying to be careful or stealthy.
Like, my
Like,
mouth is, like, wide open during this whole thing, and I'm like
yeah.
and it's not even, like I don't know, this next one, I feel like could have been a little better, but it's the murder after this that really makes me go, "She just wants to be found."
Yeah, like, what are you doing? So this one, she's leaving Alexa's apartment, and there's a guy that's like, he's laying on the ground. There's a purple bruise across his cheek and a scratch on his forehead. Basically, it seems like maybe he's been mugged. And she goes over to try to help him, and when he opens his eyes are blue.
And then all hell breaks loose, she's, like, feral.
Yeah, so she turns off the flashlight, she puts her phone in her pocket, and she first she she lifts his eyelid and stretches it back as far as she can, and then she licks his eyeball while it's still in his head, and he's still alive.
Like, he's just passed out at this point, and it's really weird. And she, like, licks it to the point where she's like, "It's so salty," and I'm like, "Excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse the fuck out of me." It's salty because he's probably crying.
Yeah. Um, bleh. And she tries to cut his eyes out and he screams really loud, so she runs. And then nothing happens. She like hides and nothing happens. So she comes back out and finishes cutting his eyes out.
Yeah.
He starts to fight back. Um, and then she kicks him in the head and his neck snaps sideways and, you know, he dies.
He out for the
So
count.
she goes ahead and cuts out the other eye, pops one of them in her mouth, eats it, and puts the other one in her pocket and runs away.
Yeah.
But she wipes the blood on her pants, on her jeans, and stumbles out into the light to go get in her car. Like, girl. But that's the end of that one. That's the end of chapter 45 and of that murder.
It's what's really weird is the fact that she's not even like methodically picking out her victims.
No, it's just like by
Like,
chance. At least
yeah,
for now.
half the time she's literally
Doesn't she go like searching for the next one?
no. Well,
Kind of.
yes. She just doesn't have a plan on
Yeah.
who it's going to
And it's
be.
crazy because she's almost like a backward serial killer. Because a
Yeah,
lot of the times, the serial killer, the first victim, is like
an
really well planned
accident.
out and well, yeah, or like really well planned out and like
Yeah.
they start to frenzy and then they get less and less like methodical and less careful and then they get caught. But she's kind of going backwards. Like she kind of almost gets more methodical and more.
And she's not really doing a whole like, I mean, yeah, she's leaving evidence behind, but like she's not doing it to the part of like how gory the shit is. She's literally just ripping out their fucking eyeballs and
Yeah.
then they just die from like blood loss or they're already half dead at that point. So like
Yeah.
at least thus far that I'm aware of. So like I don't know, it's just really weird. And um I also was eating like dumplings when this
Oh,
happened.
absolutely not. If you're reading this book, you should not be eating at the same time. It's just not a thing you should do.
I was sitting there like, all right, I'm gonna wait for Will to get done in the other room and I'm gonna read a little bit and then we're gonna like watch a movie and go to bed. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat food because he's doing like a specific not kind of diet, but like he doesn't really eat breakfast or lunch. And he just like saves all the calories for dinner. So like we're on a different type of schedule. And it was the weekend, so it wasn't time for him yet, or, like, he had already eaten and I, like, hadn't yet, so I'm sitting there eating these dumplings, and I'm, like, really excited about them. And then all of a sudden, I read this scene, and I'm like, "Oh, no, absolutely not."
Yeah. And then chapter 46. Um they're back in school, spring quarter. She's hanging out with Alexis. Everything's fine. And then then Alexis is talking about there was another murder in her building, which um was somebody who lived in her building this time. Um and they're like she's like, "Should we get pepper spray? Should we do this?" Like the killer could be anybody. They could be here with us right now. Like and Jiwon goes, "You don't need the pepper spray. You don't have anything to worry about." That's such a suspicious thing to say, Jiwon.
It really is. If I'm sitting there with somebody and, like, we're talking about, like, a serial killer or something, what they believe could be a serial killer, and somebody who I think is, like, probably my best friend goes, You don't have to worry about anything. And it's like, bitch, how do you know that? We don't know anything.
Yeah,
Like,
like, how do you
damn.
know that I don't have to worry?
Like, they haven't, I mean, at this point, we haven't figured out, or they haven't like pieced together why these specific people are going. I mean, the only commonality that we have amongst all of this is it's near school and they have blue eyes, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
Yeah,
So
it's
this bitch over
creepy.
here, like, you got nothing to worry about. Excuse me.
Like, how do you fucking know
Uh,
that?
yeah.
And so then Jiwon goes home and George is back. Ugh. And George, Uma, and Jihyun are watching the TV and it's the news. And
She comes
they're,
in so like kind of happy in a way.
yeah. Yeah. She's like waving her hand in front of Jihyun's face because they don't say hi or anything. And Jihyun slaps it out of the way and is like, they're saying 2 people got killed near your school and yada, yada, yada. Um, and then they talk about it a little bit. And then fucking George is like, I brought presents.
I don't want
That
it, you
is,
piece of shit.
if JW will even bother saying hello to me. Like, fuck off. Do you need them to, like, fall at your feet to feel good about yourself? Like, you're fucking gross.
I absolutely hate how somebody comes. Well, first off, if somebody comes into like a house, not only are like usually are they saying hi, hello as soon as they come
Right.
in, but people inside the place is usually saying something. Like if I walk into the apartment and I don't say anything to Will, he'll be in the other room like, "Oi, hello,"
Yeah. Right. Like,
like
hello.
it's normal. So George, at least I would have said something if you didn't say hi to me. Like if I said hi to
Right.
you and you just fucking ignored me, then I would have been like perfectly fine. But she walks in, sees everybody glued to the TV, and instead of saying hi to even her mom and sister, she goes, "What are you guys watching?" So it's not like she even like
Right. Like,
purposely
said hello to
ignored you.
everyone but you. Like,
Yeah, fuck you. Fucking
and as
twat.
he's getting the presents out of his suitcase, Jiwon sees a condom in there and she steals it and puts it into her pocket because she doesn't want Uma to see it. Um, so
To
George
be
brought
honest, I don't think she'd even like even if she saw it, I don't think she'd think it would be his.
probably not. She would
I
rationalize it in her mind.
that it was like a colleague or something.
Yeah. And so he brought Uma a ceramic flower that has literally nothing to do with Thailand. It's just a ceramic flower
And apparently you can get the exact same kind like down the
in that
street.
city. Yeah. Um, and then we don't really know what he gets them or if he got them something.
I think he got um uh oh, yeah, it doesn't even say anything.
Yeah. But she is like, this reminds me of the work I have left to do. And I wrote down, this is one of those books slash stories that makes me sympathize with the serial killer. Cause as we're reading all this about George and what a like just fucking shitbag he is, I'm like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
Maybe not
like
like the homeless man and the college student and the other people that get murdered,
I
but
think she has a very good case of just flat out murdering him, whether or not it's fucking premeditated, and then straight
yeah.
up like saying it was self defense. It was self defense. I'm a poor little, and she even comments on it like nobody ever suspects a little Asian woman or girl to like be helpless or whatever. or to not be helpless. So, like, she even comments on that at one point. So it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like you're going really well with this, but
Yep. And then that chapter ends with her having another sleepwalking episode and eating a hard-boiled egg.
it's also really weird because like she goes into her mom's bedroom where they're sleeping and
Yeah.
she rubs the and it says this oh man. George is hacking and coughing as he's sleeping, so he's probably like snoring and all of that. And it says, her like inner monologue goes, I'll watch as the life seeps out of him. His face will turn blue. And then she says, the scene gives me so much pleasure that for a moment I run my hand over the blankets. Soon. And it's like, hold on, I get it. But do you gotta go into their bedroom and like rub the blanket? Because not only is that weird, you showing a little bit of like affection to the blanket while
Yeah.
saying, "Ah, soon." That's like a stalker coming into, like, the bedroom and watching you sleep and then, like, rubbing their hand over your, like, shoulder or something. Like, "Ah, soon they'll be mine." Like, I don't know, like, that's the
Yeah.
vibe I'm getting.
It's
And
just really creepy.
she's over here like, "Oh, I'm being stalked."
You're also stalking, so it's
You're
fine.
also kinda doing the same vibes, you're just lucky you live in the same place with him.
Right? Or unlucky,
Ugh,
as the case may be.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah.
yeah, chapter 47. This bitch. So she's trying to make George think he's crazy, basically. Um,
Mhm.
so he has this Rolex that was his dad's, and he makes a huge deal about it, how like it's his most prized possession. If he ever lost it, he would die. Well, um, Jiwon takes it and um I think she puts it behind his truck tire, I think.
Yeah, she puts it in a like, an area that can't easily be seen.
Yeah. And so he's in a rush to get to work and he leaves and then George comes stomping back into the house with blood dripping from his fingers, just like freaking out about his Rolex. Um, because he says he must have dropped it while getting out of the car, but he ran over it basically and is freaking out
Yeah.
and trying to pick up all the pieces. But
And he's, like, cutting his hand trying to pick up even the most tiny glass piece that you can't see.
yeah,
Um,
this scene kind of makes me feel just the tiniest bit bad for him. Not for him, but like I can empathize in this situation because it's like grief all over again
yeah,
because it was his dad's watch and that was like,
the last thing he truly had of him.
yeah,
I feel that. Like, I don't you're still a piece of shit, and you're a terrible fucking person,
yeah,
but also, like, nobody should lose their possession. That was, like, the last remaining thing that reminded them of a family member that meant a lot to them.
yeah. And that's
You
basically, and then he tells us about a nightmare he had, and that's basically all of chapter 47.
yeah.
Oh, chapter 48. Um, so speaking of stalkers, Jiwon sees George's truck zipping through traffic and she follows him. And
And
he
she
goes
does
to a
not like
coffee
what she
shop.
sees.
No, because he goes to a coffee shop, and when he comes back out, there is a petite, fair-skinned Asian woman with long dark hair parted in the middle, wearing a floral sundress, holding his hand and laughing. It is Jen. And so she follows them again to Jen's apartment.
Which is the apartment key that he has.
Yep. And mind you, while she's doing all of this, she's missing a class. Like, she's skipping class to do this.
Yeah, she like this whole like feral side of her takes over and she just can't control any of it,
Yeah. And then she
which
goes
is
back to
weird.
their apartment, like, to their apartment to, like, calm down, and she finds Ji-hoon there, who has skipped school, um, because her life is kind of falling apart. Like, Ji-won asks
Eh,
her what's wrong, and she's like, "Everything is wrong."
yeah. And she admits it. Like,
Yeah.
you're acting different, they're acting different. I don't want this to happen. Here we are, just kind of letting it all out.
Yeah.
And then she reminisces on a time that when they were little, they would pretend like they were genies and they would wish or they would grant all kinds of wishes. Now, obviously, a lot of those wishes weren't real or legitimate and they were just like things that you couldn't control as a kid. But in a way to comfort her, she just is like, I am Genie. I can grant you whatever your heart desires. What is your wish? And she admits she wishes Uma and
George.
George not to marry. And then she goes, your wish is my command. And I was like, oh, it's
Oh.
on. It's
Yep.
on. And so the games begin.
Yeah. So, chapter 49, uh, George is spending a lot of time working late hours and preparing for a major presentation with the client. Um, Obviously, he's with Jen. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, that's what's happening.
He's spending a lot more
But
time at his apartment now because it's quote unquote fixed.
yeah, and it's quieter. Um, uh, and Oma is understandably having some anxiety about that, but she won. I'm here for this fuckery. This fuckery is great. Um, they have dinner, and then everyone goes to sleep, and G1 opens George's laptop and his folder of his presentation, and just recreates the presentation and all of the papers in the folder for him. And I'm here for the fuckery. And I'm here for it even more once I learn what it is.
So she takes essentially his private files of porn pictures of little Asian women in
Yep.
scantily clad outfits, what I don't even know would be considered porn. Like to me, I honestly was like thinking like, damn, this is like the Epstein files where like this dude just has like various photos of these people and they have no idea who it is until a little later when they described what one of the photos were. And I was like, oh, that's straight up porn. I mean, unless
Yeah.
that's like Jen doing like a photo shoot for him.
Right.
But I was like, what kind of fucking photos are these? Are these just so these are like his
Yeah.
personal files and she takes all of them and essentially prints them out for his presentation and redoes his like actual presentation, his
Yeah.
PowerPoint.
And so in chapter 50, he realizes this and he comes back and is screaming at Ji-won, asking if she did this. And she's like, "What are you talking about?"
And he calls her a
And
fucking bitch too.
yeah. And then
I
she
was like,
says, "I don't know
"Ooh,
what you're
right
talking
here."
about." And he's like, "Bullshit, bull fucking shit." And she goes, "Why are you yelling? You're acting crazy. Did something happen at work?" And then he goes, "Look at
Manipulation.
this." And he starts showing her, or like throwing the pages at her. And she's like, "What the fuck? Or what the heck? You're disgusting." Um,
Yeah, it's like it
And
looks to be about Ji-hoon's age. Her hair has been tied back into pigtails and she's wearing a black bra and panties, a lollipop in her mouth. See, a girl to be Ji-hoon's age, that's 15. I'm like,
yeah, yeah. And he's like, "I didn't do this." And he's like, "Was it your mother?" And she's like, "Why would she do that? That doesn't make any sense. She wants to marry you." Like, and then he's like, "Then it's that little bitch JH, your sister." Um, and she's like, "What would be her motive?" Like, and he just keeps like screaming at her and losing his mind. And she's finally like, "Look, think about it. Why would any of us want to mess with your stuff? It doesn't make sense. Was it only this or your actual presentation as well?" And he goes, "My actual presentation." She goes, "How would any of us get into your computer? Isn't it password protected? I mean, only someone from your work could access it." And then he's like, "My boss.
he's been
I
trying
don't
to get
have
rid of me
proof.
for
What do I
years.
do?" And then he gets a phone call and he's fired. He's fired. And that's basically the end of chapter 50. Oh, well, they clean up all the photos. They pick up all the photos so the mom and Ji don't see it all. And then chapter 51.
I tell you what, the fuckery is hitting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everyone's at home and Uma goes, "How did the meeting go?" And he admits that he was fired.
Yeah, and
And
he's a dick. He's like, "Yes, fired, fired. Do you understand that word?" Because remember, her
yeah.
English isn't great. And like, so he's being a big ass dick.
Mhm.
And he's like, "I don't want to talk about it." And Oma, being the sweet little lovesick person that she is like, "It's okay. You're going to be my husband. I'll support our family until you're back on your feet. Not a problem." And then he's like, "I'm going back to my apartment for a while." Meh.
Yeah. Pissed off.
And then,
And like she also or Jiwon makes a fake dating profile and
yep.
finds George and matches with him. And then she starts talking to him.
Hmm.
And it was like, "Hi, gorgeous. What are you? Are you Korean?" And she goes, "No, Chinese." And he goes, "Oh, I lived in Chinese. Do you speak Chinese?" "Oh, not really." And basically, her name is Lindsay. She's built an entire backstory for her, and she matched with George. And she basically said, "Would you be interested in meeting up sometime?" He asked her that, and she goes, "Yeah, can I have a picture of you first?" And apparently it's like the blue silk tie that she always comments on, and
But it's
from
an
like
old picture.
yeah, it's like 20 years ago. I just can't imagine, I don't know, in the political dumpster fire that America is facing right now. There is only very few people I imagine um who George would look like. Man, I tell you what, it's very slim pickings about who I think George looks like. And I just like, how the fuck is he getting liked? Like
Yeah,
anything.
I don't know. And then chapter
Ugh.
52, George is, never there. He's always in his own apartment. When he does show up, he shows up without warning. And the mom is like kind of losing her grasp on reality. And she's like, "Are you trying to call off the wedding? If you are, don't be a coward. Just tell me the truth. Don't embarrass me." And then George hangs up and their mom is crying and kind of losing her shit. And we're back to the beginning, basically. And that's all of chapter 52. Chapter 52 is really short. But I was just like, "Oh, sweetie, there was never going to be a wedding." It was never
No,
gonna
and
happen.
honestly, this really pisses me off because, like, yeah, the mom's done some shit that she probably shouldn't do. George is a fucking terrible person, but also, Jiwon, you are perpetuating your mom's, like, issue and
Yeah.
making it worse. And it said, because at the end of the chapter, it says, funny how things never change. Here I am, wide awake. My mother is crying. And once again, she is powerless because obviously George isn't there. She's in her bedroom crying. And it's like, to be fair, you're being a fucking bitch about it.
Yeah.
Just tell her. You don't have to have the best relationship with your mom, but like if you hate him so much, you know your sister hates him so much, and you have dirt on him that would break them up and you're not doing anything about it, that's a bitch move.
Yep. You were
Like
the
that's
problem there.
selfish as fuck.
Yep.
And so,
But
yeah.
chapter 53.
Okay. This is the episode, or this is the chapter where I'm just like, what the? And I was fucking eating again last night when I was reading this. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah. Um, she's hanging out with Alexis and being weird. And Alexis kind of calls her out on it. She's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I think I have a migraine. I need to leave." And
Yeah,
Alexis
because
is like,
like
"Are you sure?" Like,
her head starts like hurting, but like becoming like a blinding, searing pain. And it's weird because it goes away as soon as like she eats an eyeball.
yeah,
So it's like
bitch
a
is a little
psychological
cuckoo for
pain.
Cocoa Puffs. Um,
Yeah.
and she kind of like makes Alexis feel bad a little bit. Um, and then she goes and gets in her car and is driving around, and she sees this guy that's walking around, like stumbling around, disoriented, confused, and his eyes are a deep blue. And she says, "Do you need a ride?" And he gets in her car and goes, "Uber?" And she said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I didn't know they let Asian chicks do Uber." And then he promptly falls asleep while she's driving. This
I
bitch.
I tell you what, she gets on some fucking high from this. She
She even
can't
gets pulled
wait.
over
Yeah.
with
And
this guy in her car.
this right here is where she fucked up because she is so excited about her meal and she's
Mhm.
hungry, ravenous, and it's like, what? So she is so excited about it. She's speeding to this location where she's like, oh, no one's gonna find them, all of that. And she gets pulled over and it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? And she convinces the police officer that that was her boyfriend, that he drank too much. She is sober, and she just picked him up from the bar, and now they're going home. And the officer, which, I mean, there's no suspicion right then and there, so it's like, it's not like he can do anything about it,
Yeah.
takes her information and then pulls away. But he doesn't, the guy's cap is like on his head, but not on his head. It's not obscuring his face.
Right.
It's obscuring what he looks like,
Yeah.
clearly at least, and it's probably definitely obscuring his eyes, but she takes him to this abandoned old, like, building. It was a place that, like, somebody bought to build, like, a mansion, and now, like, it's not there, like, they're not building it anymore,
Yep.
and she just fucking goes to town on getting his eyeballs out.
Yep.
She, like, was it,
Well, so that's in the next chapter. Like, the end of this chapter is just her getting him out of the car and into the abandoned place, and then He
Yeah, I was gonna
falls
say
down and
she, like,
pees himself.
drags him out.
And then in chapter 54, she, or the end of chapter 53 into the beginning of chapter 54, she cuts his carotid.
Carter um, yeah, Carter car car
Carotid.
what she said. Artery. But yeah, she like they're laying on a ground. Well, he's laying on a ground, and he pissed himself, and she's like, "This is the hard part. I have to kill him. I line the blade up, and holding my breath, I plunge it into his flesh." And here's the thing that she did find out about Blue Cat dude. It's the guy from Starbucks that was like talking like nasty shit about Asian women,
Yep.
about how they
So
beg
she's
for
like
it.
taking even more pleasure out of this because
Yeah.
of
Like,
that.
she was excited for her option, and then now she's even
Yeah.
more excited because it's a whole new thing. But it's like she fucked up by getting pulled over. Like,
Yeah.
she should have just dropped him off, and if she really wanted to do that, she could have picked someone else,
Yeah.
especially after getting pulled over.
Yep. Because she's been seen with him now by a police officer, like.
Yeah. And
But
it's not
then
like
when she
she
does,
drove like an hour away to this
right.
location.
Yeah, and then when
Ugh.
she, like, does cut his neck, he his eyes pop open, like, he's not knocked out, he's just drunk. So
Yeah.
he starts screaming, and she covers his mouth with her hand, and he bites her so hard that it breaks the skin. And, like, she just blacks out, basically, and stabs him until he's dead in his
Mhm.
neck. And then she,
Yep.
like, hallucinates that it's George, and then she hallucinates that it's Jeffrey. And then she's back to normal, and she cuts out his eyes and hears a loud engine roar and
Not before
crawls to
gobbling
her
one of them
car.
up.
Yeah. And then she just drops the eye into the cup holder with the coins and bobby pins, and I'm like, "Ugh."
It's got, like, dirt on it, so
And she
she
does the
probably
best she can to clean it with her shirt before cramming it in her mouth.
yeah.
Gross. Ugh.
Yeah, because, like, she ate the first one, and then she got into the car, and she starts driving away, and she can't stop thinking about it, and she's getting, like, a blinding, searing pain, and so then she pops that into her mouth, and she's finally okay, and then she starts crying, and I'm like,
Yeah. Like, bitch. Bitch.
"Yeah,
Yeah. After I'm finished eating, I lean my head against the window and cry. Was the last sentence of chapter 54.
ugh."
55, she goes to the gas station again with the outside bathroom. It's cleaning herself up. And she's walking back and forth from the bathroom to the car, trying to clean off the blood on the seats in the car. Um, and then she finds a hair and gets the hair out of there. But then the gas station attendant is like, get out of here and don't come back unless you're buying something. Like, you're
So
being
she
weird. Get out of
had
here.
yeah, so she had the police officer see her tonight. She had, the gas station attendant, she's on camera probably, and if she's going
Yeah.
back and forth, like, he could easily go in there and check the, like, trash.
And see that there's blood. Yep. But then she gets out of there and she goes to Alexis's apartment.
To
She's
see if
like, I don't
she's
want to
still awake.
upset her by like waking her up. But then she calls her And she's like, asks her if she's okay. She's like, "No, I'm not okay." She's like, "I'm in front of your apartment." And Alexis is like, "What the fuck? I'll come down. Give me a second." Um, but she's like, "Would you still like me if I did something bad?" She's like, "What are you talking about? What'd you do?" And she's like, "Nothing. I mean, hypothetically, if I did something, would you still be my friend?"
And Alexa's like, "Well, it depends on if you murdered somebody, and if you did, like, did they deserve it? But, like,
Yeah.
where is this coming from?" And she's like, "Don't worry, I'll call you tomorrow." And
Yeah.
I'm like, I you know how, like, when you just, like, meet one person and then all of a sudden what they say, like, jolts you into doing something different or, like, better for you?
Yeah.
And the fact that Alexa said that, I was like, "Damn, I really hope she, like, stops it." Like, I hope, like, maybe this is just, like, her jolt back into reality.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Probably not, but anyways, chapter 56.
Yeah. 56. Uma's like, "Have either of you heard from George?" And they're like, "No." And he's not answering his phone. Um, and she had made one of George's favorite Korean dishes. Um, and it's basically like we have to wait to eat until George comes home. And so they're waiting and waiting, and the food's getting cold, and they're getting pissed off. And all of a sudden, Uma's like, "I'm not that hungry. I think I'll go to bed early tonight." And Jiwon kind of loses it. She's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you acting like this over a man who doesn't care about you?" Um, and then she kind of loses it even more. And she's like, "It's pathetic. I don't understand you. You drag us through this mess and we're left behind trying to clean it up. You don't even care about how your actions affect us. All you think about is yourself." And then Uma basically starts crying and runs into her room, understandably, because misplaced anger much. Like,
Mm.
and but then Ji Hyun gets pissed. And I'm like, "Girl, you have been begging her chapter after chapter to say something to Uma. And she finally did, and now you're mad."
Honestly, I think it's great. Like, did it help? Was it the best way to do it? No, but that's fine. It got the point across, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and then Ji Yoon is a little freaked out, and she's telling Jiwon that she found a picture beneath the couch while she was cleaning, and it's one of the pictures from the presentation of an Asian woman in a short skirt with sheer white socks that have pink satin ribbons dotted all over them, with nothing on top. Um, and she's like, "I think it belongs to George." And Jiwon's like, "Of course it's his." Um, and Jiyoon is kind of like panicking. She's like, "I'm so scared of what's gonna happen." Like, and she's crying. And that unfortunately cements in Jiwon's mind that everything she's doing is correct and she's gotta stay the course.
Yeah. And, like, with her comment that said, "And everything I'm going to do is for their own good," I'm like, "But killing the others?
Right?
Is that part of the
Mm,
plan? Does it need
girl.
to be part of the plan? Like, it's not like you're practicing your craft. This is not a, precision sort of thing."
Yeah.
Do you think that if she, like, and obviously you read the end of it, so, like, I'm not gonna look at you when this happens, but do you think that she, like, um let's say she kills George and she eats his eyeballs, whatever the case is, like, I wonder if, like, that is the end of it, if she stops doing, like, everything just goes happy-go-lucky, I don't know. Like,
I
to
don't
me,
know.
it would make sense if the one thing that started your fetish, essentially, is the one thing that ends it. Y I don't know if I would call it a fetish, an obsession, but unhealthy obsession. But
The end is so wildly, like, not what I expected at this point in the story that my face isn't gonna give anything away with that because
oh, okay, cool. Sweet.
but
But
chapter
yeah.
57, 2 more chapters. Chapter 57, Jeffrey kind of corners her again, and
Oh, this pissed me off. This is where the soapbox comes in.
yeah, so he's like, "Can we go somewhere a little more quiet or private? I just need a minute of your time." And he basically walks her, like, off campus out of, like, away from everyone, and they're
Mhm.
sitting on the in front of some apartment, and he's like, "Just sit down and talk to me. What are you afraid of?" And he basically confesses that he likes her as more than a friend and blah, 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 and she stands up and says, "I'm sorry, I don't feel the same about you. I'm sorry if I gave you the impression that I felt differently." And he gets pissed immediately. "Come on, you haven't even let me finish talking." And she's like, "I don't wanna give you the wrong idea." Like, she's doing all the things. This is one of those
Like,
things where, like, a
it's
woman repeatedly
not.
says no, and a man just won't listen.
And this is where I get on my soapbox. Okay, so before he's so we know Jeffrey to be this kind of person that is very feminist, very woman forward, like very
Fake
um
ass.
yeah, not misogynistic, doesn't believe in any of this kind of stuff. Like that's what we are like have read thus far. This is what we know of the person. But then he sits here and he basically looks at her and goes, "Trust me, G1, if you let me, you'd like me," after like a long spiel of like explaining that he likes her. And she's already at this point said, "No, I don't want to give you the wrong idea." And he goes, "But you barely know me. I've tried so hard to get to know you, to let you know what I'm about, but you haven't given me the chance. I swear, is it because I'm white?" And I'm like, okay, you claim to be all of these things, and then you sit here and say, if you'd let me, you'd like me. Like you believe that you are the gift for this person, that you are
Yep.
anything and everything you have ever believed in. And you are a so-called feminist?
Mhm. Fuck
Please.
off. You're fake.
Like, I would believe you or be a feminist if you'd look at her and be like, "Girl, I see that you like Alexis. Power to you." Like,
Right,
boss
but
move,
he's
like,
not.
shit like that. He's backwards. He's the
He's
typical
like
male. Not typical, I
he's
shouldn't say that,
like,
but he's like the toxic male.
he's like, "I don't have yellow fever. You know how much I read. I've studied pretty much every topic related to race and gender. Fetishization is a form of oppression. I'm not an oppressor. I'm an ally." And then he goes, "My feelings for you, no, my love for you goes way beyond race. I love you for who you are on the inside. I can't keep going like this, pretending I don't feel this way. Like, fuck
We
off." And she
belong
says,
together.
yeah, no. She says, "No, Jeffrey, I don't like you. Please, I can't do this right now," and runs from him. And then he's like chasing her at first, which is just wild.
And honestly, I can see why she ran from him because he wouldn't let her go the other night. And here's the thing. You ugh, ugh. He just said I've been trying to get like have you get to know me. How the fuck do you love her? That is such
Yeah,
a
because you don't know her
manipulative thing.
either.
Yeah. Okay. You just complained that like you can't get her to talk to you, to get to know you, to be your friend or whatever. How can you claim that you love her when you don't even know what she's about? And you got
Mhm.
her fucking fancy ass chopsticks. I'm sure she's got plenty of those fancy ass chopsticks.
Right, which that alone is racist as hell. Like, you
Mhm.
claim to be so woke and an ally, but the fuck is wrong with you?
And she sits there and she goes, "I don't like you." And he's like, "Is it because I'm white?" And
Bitch,
bitch, my
fuck
best friend
off.
is black. Like, fuck you.
Right, fuck off. Um, but when she gets away and gets back to campus, she realizes that she left her backpack. Um, and then she's kind of panicking about that at first, and she
Mhm.
goes back and tries to find the backpack. Um, but doesn't find it.
Yeah, 'cause she, like, retraces her steps, she goes to the classrooms, she goes back to, like, where she couldn't the problem is, like, where they're located, everything looks very similar, the trees look the same, all of that, and so
Yeah.
she's, like, struggling to find the same staircase that they sat at, and then her memory got jogged about, a specific type of bush that's, I don't even know what it's called.
An oleander.
Yeah, so she sees that and she's like, "Oh, it's this way." And then she talks about a story about how oleander was used as like chopsticks into with a girl in Korea and she died from it. So I guess oleander is very toxic and poisonous and um she like gets an idea.
Yep.
But then the quote at the very end of it says cuz she didn't believe it, she joked and she basically tried to convince her sister to, you know, use them. And,
Mhm.
her mom obviously freaked out for good reason, and then looked at him and said, "You both need to be careful. I know that the plant is pretty, but poison is everywhere, even in the places where you least expect it." And it's like, G1, that's totally you.
Right?
I'm
Totally.
like, "Oh, that's a good one. That's a good quote for the main character."
Yep. And that's the last sentence of chapter 57. And then in chapter 58, she's still looking for her backpack, still can't find it. And so she finds an old backpack at home to get her through the next day. Um, and people in the classroom when she gets in and sits down next to Alexis are like talking in hushed tones. And she's like, "What's going on?" And Alexis tells her they found another body and that this one is another student. So they're like freaking out. And she's like, Alexis is like, "I'm scared." And Julian goes, "Don't be." And then she's like, "The blood, the fingerprints, your DNA is everywhere. All they need to do is look and they'll find everything. And the knife, you have to dispose of it. Drop it in the LA River and let it be carried out to sea. Drown your transgressions in the Pacific Oceans." And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm going to do." And then she's like, "Oh, fuck." Because that knife was in her backpack. And I literally wrote the backpack that Jeffrey most likely has. Because, like, is he going to turn her in? Is he going to be like,
I kinda wonder too if he has it, one, and if he, like, has been stalking her to the point where also, if she thinks she's being stalked, she really needs to, like, consider her evening activities.
correct?
But if he's the one stalking her, is he gonna be like, "Look, you need to stop this and date me, or I'll turn you in."
Right. Or is he going to be like protecting her? Like, is he going to help her without her knowing? Like, help clean
Yeah.
up crime scene. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
um, but then she like takes off out of the classroom after class is over and goes to her car and is like looking for her fucking backpack. And then she has a moment, a
Mhm.
vision again as she's driving of people say calling her a murderer. Um, and then she's home. And again, the backpack is not there. She's still freaking out. And so apparently Ji Hyun had taken a
A
bracelet
lot
of
of her
hers.
stuff.
Yeah, and had like been going through her stuff. And so she's um searching through Ji Hyun's side of the closet and her stuff. Um, but it's not there. And then she goes to Uma's bedroom and looks around trying to find the damn bag and it is not there again. And she is full on panic mode now. She's freaking
Yeah.
out.
because her entire life is about to go AWOL.
Yep. She's freaking out. Freaking out, man. And that's the end of that chapter and of this episode. We have
Yeah,
one more episode of this book. So the next episode, you're going to learn the conclusion of everything.
which is crazy.
And I'm so excited to talk about it.
Ugh. All right. Well, until
Sorry about that. Until next time.
this, this is why she needs to wait until I hit stop recording, but here we are. Anyways, until next time.
Bye.